advice. Just me having fun looking at charts, taking requests, and here behind me I've got the S&P 500, ticker symbol SPX. As we can see, the market just opened and it is hitting new all-time highs, having crossed over 5,100, and yeah, pretty exciting. And I also do want to note I will be streaming again Sunday evening. Do that every evening on Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern, so make sure you tune into that for ticker requests live. I'll be doing this today for an hour, maybe 2 hours, depending on how many people are joining. And yeah, just going over some stocks. So here, as mentioned, the S&P 500, a few others that I will be going over. I did get requests for Canopy Growth Company, ticker symbol CGC, as well as Virgin Galactic, ticker symbol SPCE. And then I do have another few on the list that, I'm just curious to look at to kind of get an idea of what's going on in the market. Happy to take requests if you are joining live, or if you're watching this after the fact. Drop a comment, let me know a ticker that you're interested in getting my take on, and I'll either cover it in a live stream like this, might do a rough cut request, just kind of like a casual video, me going over some charts, or, I might make a dedicated video on it. So, let me know in the comments. And if you do enjoy this content, always, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts as always in the comments and or in the live chat, and make sure you subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you so much for joining. And yeah, I'm just going to look at the charts over here. I do see that someone's joining, so, welcome. Let me know if you have any ticker requests, but I'm just going to go over some of the charts here. But yeah, I'm just kind of, mind blown a little bit by the S&P 500 going up higher. I did expect, though, that Nvidia, oh my God, look at this. 2 trillion market cap. I called it. I made a video on this a few days ago. Oh my gosh, I am proud of myself. That is pretty awesome. Yeah, let's look at this. How off was I? I saw that. We saw that happen together here, over the past couple minutes, just the start of the market. Over 2 trillion market cap. That is incredible. And so, on that note, I am, in all honesty, I am short semiconductors, and that would be the SOXS. This is 3x leveraged short semiconductors. Here, looking at this on the daily time frame, yeah, just hit an all-time low with this, I believe all-time low, $3.88. I had been averaging down on this, picked up some yesterday at $4, but then saw the low yesterday at $3.90, and placed an order that was filled during pre-market, just to add a little bit more, just dollar cost averaging in. But yeah, now this is going even lower as Nvidia hits 2 trillion, and I'm actually going to I'm going to just switch over to I just got to promote myself a little bit. Let's see. That is pretty incredible. So let's see, where did I here's my profile, and I'm just going to scroll to the video post on let's see, on my call of, yeah, this. Look at that, a few days ago. Man, I am proud of myself. Sweet. And that could be the market top. That could very well be the market top. But yeah, so I'll get back to the charts. Sorry about that little derailment, but this is a pretty historic, yeah, we're very close to the top. We're very close to the top. Pretty crazy. Wow, I'm glad I was streaming this morning. I wish I had it on NVIDIA right when that happened, but man, basically saw that. That's, yeah, it makes me a little nervous though, because just looking at this, look at how much this has gone up. This is like quite literally like parabolic, having gone up from the bottom here. Let's see. Almost a 650%. Yeah, I feel like the market's got to be topping soon. Let's see. Look at this on the weekly time frame. This is, of course, not going to be suggesting a topping signal. If we do, though, look at the SPX, I can't imagine this would be putting in a topping signal because, just putting in, new highs the end of the week. It will be interesting to see what the S&P closes at. I suspect it's going to be above 5,100. And, yeah, so that makes me, I don't know. I did, I was just over on Twitter, and I got to scroll to it a little bit, but I did put out this post, kind of posing this question. It's kind of as a joke. Let's see, I just post all the videos on there. So, but yeah, I did this post, just going, following the COVID crash, the S&P 500 went up 2.6 thousand from 2.2 thousand to 4.8 thousand. And after that 2-year rally, a low of 3.5K. This is, I did this wrong. Did it? Went up from 2.6. Yeah. No, wow, that's incredible. This is just so crazy, because I think about, numbers in Bitcoin that it's like going up 2,000. That's insane. That would not happen with the S&P 500. That's more like a Bitcoin move. But yeah, so this, 2,200 over here going up to 2,600. And then from here, this is around 3,500. Just kind of posing the question, could this be a measured move? Might we be hitting a high of 6,100 in August of this year, if that's, the same time frame and everything? I really just kind of put this out as a joke. And, just to kind of get Gareth Soloway's take on it, because, I had learned about measured moves and stuff like that from watching his channel. But really, what this is not a measured move. This is a 50% retracement. And so this measured move is really just kind of like just kind of a fun idea. I don't think price is going up this high, but we're making our way there. So, yeah, I was asking people, what they thought of it, and you can see the poll here. Where will the S&P 500 top? 5K, 6.1K, or somewhere in between. My vote's somewhere in between. I didn't vote. But yeah, it's not going to be the exact number and stuff. So, but yeah, this is just crazy. And Nvidia, man, that's, I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed that this went so quickly, because I called this just like 4 days ago. I expected it to go up a little bit, maybe pull back and then go up maybe over the course of the next month. I did not expect it to be doing this over the course of a few days. Yeah, like I put out that video on the 19th, I guess, which was yeah, so I guess, following this trading day, before the 20th, which was Tuesday. So I put it out on Monday, I guess. And yeah, because, and then everybody just, really bearish, like, oh, it's just going down. It's just going to keep going down. But this is just like, like pulling the slingshot, getting ready to launch it. And that's exactly what we saw. But yeah, this, let's see, what's the measurement of this candle? That is 4.5%. I wonder how much it's going to go up today. Yeah, and also, if it's gapping up, I shouldn't even think about it like that. Not the candle. So it's up 16%, from the close here to the high, or the close here. So that's 16.4%, and then here, it's up 4.5% or so, 4.25%. Man, I'm disappointed. I didn't think it'd be going this high this fast. That's crazy. But yeah, this is at a discount, and I did expect it to go this low. I expected it to go to 4. And yeah, but man, maybe, hey, I've already got it mapped out where this is going to. This is going to $3.68, from this extension here from the run up. And I feel like that's probably going to happen. It just makes me feel sick a little bit. Things shouldn't be going so high, or shouldn't be going down so low. But, I think we take a step back in a measurement. I've just been doing this measurement, and I move it down to, let's see where we're currently at, right around, let's say $4 to 14. So I can actually just adjust this, make it exact, $4 to 14. What kind of percentage move is that? 250%. So that's what I'm all about. I'm excited about this. I probably will not hold all of my shares up to this point, as there will probably be resistance, like, coming up to the bottom of this consolidation here. Probably going to be resistance right around $6, $6.15 or so. Again, probably going to bump into resistance here right around $8 at the bottom of this consolidation. That's going to act as resistance. Got this bottom here right around $10, also being like a psychological level. Getting a little bit of a tap here with a low of $9.98 on November 9th. So, yeah, but I mean, just I think that we're pretty close to a bottom with this, and I think that we're pretty close to a top with this and a top with this, because, yeah, 2 trillion. Anyways, I'm going to go over some of the requests now, and then I'll probably go over natural gas because I think that's pretty interesting. But yeah, so Canopy growth was requested. I've got a bunch of drawings here, a bunch of Fibonacci retracements. I got to take a little break from the fibs, I think. I kind of overdo them. But, with that being said, this is the retracement here that's in blue. Going from the low on the 14th, just making sure it's right, to 330, and then to the high and the close on February 16th. If I ever refer to a month as November and it's not November, I'm sorry, my brain's just like stuck in November for some reason. So on the 16th, the high was $3.82. So got that right. And so let's see if I do an extension from this. I feel like I might already have that on there. I do. And so that extension would put price, right around $3. So if this is breaking lower, which it apparently is, I could see price going to $3 a share. So I do think it's good to brace for that. It is quite possible, though, that we do get a fake out. It's quite possible that right now what we are seeing is a fake out. And so, how would we tell, is it a fake out? So basically, right here with this candle, we got a break lower than, let's say, $3.50, right around there. But we didn't close at the bottom. We pulled up a little bit, forming a hammer candle, and that could be suggesting that a reversal. We did not see that. Then we get a lower close the next day, but we don't get a close below that previous day's low. So that's not confirming a breakdown. Now, it seems like we'll probably be confirming that breakdown, but we might still be finding a bottom. If we get a close below $3.30, that's not looking so good. But if on Monday we don't close lower than today's low, which as of right now is $3.25, I suspect that will be dropped a little bit. But if on Monday we don't close lower than today's low, and perhaps we close above $3.30 on Monday, that would be negating this breakdown signal, and this could just be a fake out. So I think it's, I put out a video just a few days ago on Canopy growth. It's always good to wait and see what the charts are telling us, because if you just are looking at it every day, I do my analysis on the daily candles for the most part. If you look at it every single day, you're not going to be getting new data. You're just going to be basically seeing the same thing over and over, unless, you're constantly, reevaluating what you're looking at. And so with this, I think it's good to, give it a week before, really analyzing the chart again to see, oh, okay, well, that was a bottom signal. Oh, well, that was a fake out signal. And so right now, I don't see anything that's suggesting that we're bottoming. But, today we might close above $3.30. And that's not necessarily a bottoming signal, but that is a signal that could suggest a bottom could be in. We just need that confirmation. And so with not being able to put in, let's say, what was the close on the 21st? The close on the 21st was $3.44. If we get a close today above $3.44, I would think that suggests that we are putting in a bottom. And that $3.30 did act as, more or less a double bottom, although we did put in a lower low here. And I do think that from that, if this is a bottom, if this is a new low, then we could do another retracement from the top here to the bottom there and then get an idea of where it could go on the upside. Right now, I think we've just got to wait and see where it settles. Hopefully, we close, like I said, above $3.30 or ideally $3. Wait, not the close. I was thinking about this wrong. The low, $3.31. Hopefully we get a close above $3.31. That would be good. Not at $3.31, above $3.31. And then that could be suggesting, that we're not, buyers are stepping in too aggressively below current price, really at $3.30, and that we could be seeing a bottom. So I don't think all hope is lost. I do think that we could be putting in a bottom. I just think we need, the candles to be completed in order for us to really get an assessment of that. And so, I can, let's see. I'm just going to flip over. Yeah, I got CGC. Sorry if you commented that, and I didn't see it, but I could sense it. I got the feeling. But yeah, and so like I had just gone over CGC on Sunday, and so we really only have 3 candles since I did that. So that was seeing this did look strong, but it was getting to 381 at that time. So yeah, I could see why people would want to get a follow-up on that. But, I do think that we could be quite very well be putting in a bottom around now. So hopefully that's at least somewhat reassuring, but we're going to have to see how the week closes. And, if we do switch over to the weekly chart, I'm just going to remove my drawings. Yeah, because we had the low last week of, let's see, $3.30. So hopefully we're closing above $3.30. And so, yeah, we'll have to see. And I should note, I don't believe that the last Canopy growth video that I put out was that popular. So I probably won't be doing an update next week, at least at this point. So if you do want to see another one, make sure you share it so it does get views. But if it's not getting views, I'll cover it again on Sunday during that Ticker Request Live. But yeah, I don't think it's... at this point, you can't really say it's putting in any bottom signals. It doesn't look like it is, but it could be. And the only way that we'll really find that out is by seeing where today's candle closes, the weekly candle closes, ideally above, not at, above $3.31. Then I think that could be starting to suggest that we're putting in a bottom signal. So yeah, we'll have to see about that. And also, I do see the comment of go.CGC. If you want me to go over grocery outlet, ticker symbol GO, I will. But I assume you were just telling me to look at CGC. And then another request was Virgin Galactic, ticker symbol SPCE. I've been doing some kind of weekly videos on Rocket Lab. Virgin Galactic, not as popular. And also, I just think it's a little bit more speculative, a little more risky. So I'm, less, like I feel like there's less application with Virgin Galactic, whereas with Rocket Lab, especially with, like the U.S. just recently starting a new branch of the military, Space Force, that's going to be a customer of Rocket Lab, as well as I imagine Air Force would be as well, and just military in general. But maybe that would only be, I don't really know how that's divided and stuff. But yeah, anyways, looking at Virgin Galactic, we did fill what looks like was this gap over here, just kind of a very tiny gap. And so I do think that, looking at the chart, I think it would be great, in all honesty, if price were to drop down to $1.50 before earnings, because then that gap would be behind us. And and let's see, when are earnings? The 27th, so that's Tuesday. I imagine it's after hours. If it's pre-market, I could potentially cover this. Unfortunately, I can't do evening earnings calls. Let's see. I'm just gonna type up because there's this heart emoji that always blocks a lot of messages. Hey Sean, how's it going, by the way? Do you do value investing for buy and hold strategies? Not so much. I mean, if I had more, I feel like, money on the side and stuff, just that I wasn't, I'm more interested in trying to increase by getting in and out of trades rather than holding something long term. But with that, let's see, I'd say I've been building a small position in gold, which I don't know how long I'll hold that. But that's based on this one. And I will come back to Virgin Galactic. And so, yeah, I mean, I've just been building a small position in this. But yeah, I mean, it's like I feel like I try to be in and out of things. Of the stocks that I cover, I do have positions in maybe you'll laugh at this: AMC, GameStop, ChargePoint, Biora. I think those are my largest positions. And for the most part, all of them, I'll probably hold all of them for a long time. But hey, Sean, oh my God, I don't know what you're saying. Oh my God, too. But yeah, let's see. And then let's see. For the stocks I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah. So those are ones that I plan on. I mean, in all honesty, probably all of them I plan on trimming once I get in the money. But I do plan on holding them long term. I've established larger positions than I was expecting to. And so with that, when I am making profits with them, I'll probably trim some. But yeah, I mean, I still, have bills and stuff, and got to make sure those are taken care of. So if I've established positions where I'm just holding long term. Another one, I don't actually cover it that much on the channel because it's never that popular. Luminar Technologies. I'm very interested in that company. And I can actually, as I talk about these things, I can pull them up. So I'll pull up Luminar here. I think that they have earnings coming up. I believe it's an after hours earnings. Otherwise, I would like to cover it. But yeah, I mean, this to me seems like, prices coming down before earnings, coming down to an all-time low. This makes me think that this is going up following earnings. Earnings are on the 27th, Tuesday, I believe, after hours. It's going to be a busy day. Yeah, so this is one I believe I added. I do very slow dollar cost averaging. I believe I picked up another share at $2.30, and I'll probably over the weekend be reevaluating the levels, and I'll probably pick up another share down here. But just my positions, not pretty large. I mean, I'm not a huge investor. I don't have a lot of money to be investing, tons and tons of money. But my position's pretty large, so that adding one share doesn't really do that much, but it does, very slightly bring my average down. And so, just doing that over time, slowly getting the average down. And then when price goes up, I can either, exit the position, trim, or, I like to sell covered calls. And so I do that on a weekly basis. Luminar is one of them. And I will be doing an updated covered calls video. I think I made about $75 this week, even though everything went down, because I placed those orders for market open on Monday. They got filled. I made some money. Prices go down. That's fine. And, make a little bit of money as prices go down. But yeah, like all of the stocks that I had just listed, I feel like it ends up just being like, oh, I'll buy a little bit of this. I think it's going to go up. And then it goes down. And then I learn more about the company. I start to believe in the company. And then I decide, I want to hold on to this long term. So I feel like those are probably my longer term investments for as far as value investing. And I think that, you could probably laugh at that as far as like, oh, you're value investing in like GameStop and AMC. But I feel like that, like, I've gotten comments that, I'm more of a trader, that, Warren Buffett would, think what I do is not good. But then if I say something like, oh, well, I feel like, movie theaters are kind of a foundational thing, around America, that I believe in that. Hey, Daniel, how's it going? I feel like, investing in that long term is not such a bad thing. That is something that I feel there is value in, and I believe in it. And so I don't think that's. I think that those are, those investments make sense. And when they're at all-time lows, if people are saying, terrible things, that's the exact opposite of what you're supposed to be doing with investing. You're supposed to be buying dips. Yeah, you're just saying hi, celebrating. Well, I appreciate it, Sean. It's nice. It's nice to have the interactions on this, because I had done YouTube with another channel. I actually started two other channels, and they were not very successful. And so this one's, and those were based on things that were not necessarily passions of mine, or had stopped being passions. This is a passion for me. This is fun. But yeah, I'm going to go back to Virgin Galactic to just kind of give more of my take on that. Actually, had I even looked at... Yeah, wow. This is kind of crazy, though. These, I guess maybe not really if I step back. They're not... Yeah, they look pretty similar. Bounce, and maybe I'm just imagining that. But yeah, with Virgin Galactic, I could see it coming down to $1.50 as being good before earnings, but with earnings on the 27th. Crazy how they both have the earnings on the same day, and they both have this, hump. I do think that $1.50 is likely on the table. Let's see. But actually, here we see lower lows here. RSI, we see higher lows. So, but that is bullish divergence. And so that could be suggesting that this will be going up following earnings. We do need to see, though, this actually give a signal that this is a bottom, because if price continues going lower, RSI could continue going lower, and it could go lower than the low of February 5th, which is 29.74 for the RSI. And so if this does dip below that level, that would negate the bullish divergence, and this could just continue falling. So I do think that's something to be cautious of. But, so I would look to see what price action is like on Monday. If it's going down a lot lower, that could not be so good. If it does rally, let's say it goes up a lot. Let's say it goes back up to like 180 before earnings. That, to me, if something goes up a lot before earnings, that could be kind of like a sell the news type of scenario, or at least that's what I've found. I've bought tops right before earnings because I thought, oh, it's going to keep going, and then it plummets. And And so with this, I do think that we could be seeing bullish divergence. And if we don't see a violent move to the upside before earnings and we still maintain the RSI above 29.74 before earnings, I do think this bullish divergence could play out and we could see moves to potentially, this downtrend. So that would be right around $2. So this could actually be a compelling swing trade around earnings, but also earnings are risky, so be careful. He's watching you now. And so I am new to this. Hey, Daniel. Well, welcome. Yeah, welcome everybody. Hey, everybody. I'm, to be honest, pretty new to this as well. I've always enjoyed charting, but didn't really make time for it. And then I started doing a video journal basically on YouTube, and then people started watching. This was really just, me sharing some ideas that I had, and then I started getting requests and doing live streams, having fun with this. And so, yeah, it's just, this is to really just like reinforce my learning, my understanding of the markets, trends, sentiment, and kind of going against it. And I also think that it's really interesting too. A lot of times, like I had just made a video on Lucid Motors, and when it was getting near $4, I had put out a video that I said that I think it's coming down to $3.50, if not $3. And I got a comment, somebody was saying, yeah, but the fundamentals are there. It's going higher. There's no reason why it would go back down. And it's like, yeah, but fundamentals don't really matter because shorts take advantage of things when they are overbought or if they can drive price lower. And that is all based on the emotions that you see in the charts. That's like why this is so fun. It's just navigating emotions and psychology. And, you could view it as in this chart, what are the emotions that I see here, but what are the emotions that I experience and how do I navigate those personally? And so I find that to be really interesting, really fun, a very interesting mental game. That's what I see this as. And so I don't know, it's a lot of fun. Am I interested in Clover Health? I have made a couple of videos on Clover Health. I got a little bit, I don't know, not necessarily spooked, but I just feel like, I do a lot of stuff that's pretty small market cap. But I just felt like I've made good calls with CLOV in the past, whether it's for the channel or not. Let's see, I don't know what's going on with this. I just got, I think basically around this time I had made some videos saying that I thought it would be going up to, $1 or so. And it got pretty close, got into this, to fill this gap, really. I think that's what I was talking about. And then it just it started to cool off and maybe it's forming a bull flag, but maybe it's not. And then I think, I wasn't in the routine of doing weekly videos, and I got, I don't want to say at this point, after it's gone up, let's see, on this day, November 14th, it went up 12%, over 12%. At that point, I didn't want to make another video saying that, from this high, it's going to go up another 7% to fill that gap, because maybe it pulls back. And so, I kind of shied away from it because I thought it would pull back. And I just didn't want to be encouraging that it would go higher and maybe people buy in because I make a video and then it pulls back. And so I guess what I should have done, looking at it now, is I should have made a video on, I think it might pull back to this trend line. And that's what happened. And then from that trend line, it made another attempt, pulled back, riding that trend line. Let's see. And this is actually, you see this down move over time here and then this sideways consolidation, respecting this trend line, but not being able to fill that gap, showing a lot of weakness, being below $1 here, having hit, let's see, a high of over $1, but a close at $1.05, so that's good. This is listed on the NASDAQ, so that is important. Let's see, how many days since that last close? What was this close at? I assume well below $1 close, actually close of $1.02. So that is keeping it, compliant with the NASDAQ. So I think that's good. But, we did see this massive breakdown of that line. I, I haven't looked at this chart since over here. But we do have that line here. I think that this could potentially be at support because, you do see it having acted as support here, resistance here with, let's see, I mean, we did get a slight break above that, opening above, but it couldn't hold. And then, resistance again over here before this big run up, support over here and here. And yeah, so I mean, I think that this could be, a good time to, add, or establish a position, but at the same time, I do have these other levels to the downside. Let's say, I think maybe the volume profile could offer some guidance in this. Yeah, I mean, we're below that, all of that volume shelf. If we, let's see. Yeah, I think that it's at pretty significant support because, I mean, you just see down here, this is just, excuse me if there's a lisp and you got a little, sometimes I do that. I don't have a lisp, but sometimes the mic picks it up. Got these wicks down here. And so, I feel like 90 cents also just being kind of, a round number, round spare change, no pennies involved. That could be serving as support, but we might see wicks below. And we saw wicks below down to 88.29. It looks like, I imagine that was the close on this day. The close on November 9th was 88.29 cents. We have not seen a close lower than that. And so I think that could be acting as support, that level. If 90 cents is broken, we might see wicks down to 88.29 cents or, maybe 89 cents. Just going pennies down, I guess, really. And then we saw these basically 3 touch points here, 1 pierce, 2 touch points of 86 cents. The lowest low, I believe, in the stock's history was 88.11 cents. And so, nope, not in the stock's history. Yeah, I was just going over this uptrend. But, from this like recent consolidation, the lowest price is 82.11. So I do think that that's one to consider. But yeah, I mean, if it does break below that, I mean, it could fake out. But if you get confirmation that is 2 closes below, with the second close being below the previous day's low, that is, I believe, what confirmation is. Then you'd probably be seeing a revisit of the low on this day, which was July 6th of 2023, hit a low of 76.62 cents. So like right around there. So really, if it looked like there was confirmation breaking below 82.11, I think this would be the next level it'd come down to. It does look like, though, that 82.11 does have some more support over here with the lows here. So I do think, and then there's this fake out. Like I said, I'm going to actually draw another line here based on, let's see, I'll do it with the lows here. So we've got a number of wicks coming down. Low 81.66, is that right for both of those days? 81.5. So I'll do this line at 81.5 cents. I'm just going to lock it in there, make sure it's exactly right. And so, what we see here, and I did go over this in the sun run video, we did see a break of that level of 81.50. We got a close lower than these previous dips. That, says, oh, I'm a retail investor. I'm in a panic. I'm going to get rid of this. But then big money knows we didn't get confirmation. And so because we don't see confirmation, the next day it's green and it goes higher. Confirmation would be if this was another red candle and we saw a close below this low, which was 76.62. We didn't see that. That marked a bottom. That marked the dip buying opportunity before a, let's see, over 100% run up. Over the course, let's see. I didn't place that. I just did the measurement. So let's see. Yeah, from that close, let's say you pick it up at that close, and then, basically you come up to here. You can't do it. And then what's this close at? I'm guessing it's right around 100%. Yeah, this to me is like the thing that's so crazy about market psychology is like I've been noticing that, let's say, this runs up to, that level, and then it pulls back and it's like, okay, but, I'd like to exit at 100% profit. And that's what the close ends up being on this day. Definitely got a revisit of that level, and before it pulling back. So yeah, that's just crazy. And that's over the course of, let's see, 39 days, 27 trading days, just a month and a week, really. Yeah, so I think it's really good to be paying attention to that confirmation, because if you do get a breakout or breakdown, I think it's oftentimes a fake out. And so with this over here, I would keep an eye on what the close is for today and what the close is on Monday. If we do get a close below 90 cents today, that's not so good. But if we don't put in a lower close or a close lower than today's low on Monday, that could suggest that this is a fake out. And while, over here, it's like it dips and then it goes green. It's like, oh man, I missed that low. I'm going to place my order back at 76.62 to get that filled. And then I can, get my shares super cheap. But let's say you can't do that. And, because you couldn't do that. It didn't go back to that level. And then you do get this green signal. Then, it's still a good dip buying opportunity, because while this, going up to here, that's 100% gain. If I do, let's see, I got to adjust this. If I do move it to the low of that day or the open, let's say do it at the 50% mark, right around where that line is with these lows, that seems reasonable. That's a 91, 92% gain. I mean, and if you, really wanted to be greedy, that could be 100% gain. But you'd only have one opportunity, one day, to get that 100% gain. So yeah, I think this is a really interesting chart. I think it's really interesting exploring this kind of stuff with stocks, because it's all about psychology, it's all about emotions, and it's all about manipulating that psychology and emotions. When people see, oh, this is the low, okay, it's a double bottom, I'm going to buy in there. But if it goes lower than this, I'm going to liquidate my position. I'm going to sell because I don't want to lose money. And then it goes lower than it. People sell, big money buys, and then it runs up 100%. So yeah, I think that this could be another one of those scenarios where you're breaking below a level that stands out as being psychological. There are no pennies involved in it, just dimes and nickels and quarters to get 90 cents. And we get a close below it. That could be a dip buying opportunity. But you do want to wait for confirmation, so you see that it's a dip buying opportunity and it's going to start rallying up. And then from there, I could see this going up from that level to this level. That's a 10% swing, up to that trend line. So that's pretty good. That's better than you get with your bank account, your savings account. So I think that's pretty good. But yeah, I also think it's risky. I do think that it could be coming back to 82 cents. So good to be careful about that. And let's see. I'm going to revisit. Yeah, let's see. I'm so happy about this. But also just like really not so happy about this. Look, topping signal on the day. Day's not over, but we hit 2 trillion. I guess it's still at 2 trillion. I had calculated it, I guess because the shares outstanding went up. I had calculated it from 2.47 billion. But, it's still right around 2 trillion. Nvidia. And if this is what the candle looks like for the day, that's a topping signal. And with that being said, the SOXS is now right around $4, which is like the low that I wanted to re-add to my position at $4. But I did buy a little bit more at $3.90, hit a low at 386 here. And so, what I will probably do after the stream, actually probably not after the stream, after the close, is, if 386 is still the low for the day, what I will probably do is just, okay, well, I'll add a little bit more and, get this position, because I do think that what is in store is, a 250% swing. But yeah, we're just going to have to wait and be patient because the markets are crazy. And this did hit a high of $823.94 on the day, which might be the all-time high for it. And this might be the all-time high for it for a very long time. This could be marking the top. Yeah, I mean, this is like, and also I think this is another good example of market psychology. Oh, earnings are coming up. It's at all-time highs. It's probably going to tank after earnings. Okay, well, let's actually tank it before earnings. So then it can rally higher, and then people FOMO in buying at, oh, it hit a $2 trillion market cap. It's going to keep going. I'm going to put more money into it because I'm retail and I like it when things go up. I buy high and sell higher. But that's not the case. It's going to pull back. And I think a lot of people are going to be rug pulled up here, and they're never going to get back to that average price. Not never. Maybe it will happen again, but I think that there's a lot of room to the downside. And there's this big gap down here at $318.19, which may never be filled. But especially, I mean, you got all this like, let's look at the volume profile. Like, yeah, this is going to be a tough portion of this chart to get through because you have all this consolidation there. Let's see, this is just crazy because this happened this consolidation was, I mean, this is consolidation. I say it's consolidation, but this represents, from the beginning of that to the top of it, that's 34%. Yeah, I mean, that's not that crazy compared to what it's done up here. But yeah, I don't know, the markets are crazy. I need to delete this. And so what I'm probably going to do is go over natural gas because I think that's interesting because of what's just happened. So I'm going to go over the natural gas chart. I will do a video on this on Sunday, but I'm basically just kind of like, I guess, using a stream to kind of prepare myself for doing that video, which I will do on Sunday as I typically do with natural gas. But yeah, I'm just going to flip over to the natural gas chart here. And let's see, I was, when I was first pulling this up, it was around here, the 50% retracement at $1.73. And I was just thinking, I'd go over in this video that I think price will be returning to the 618 before finding a bottom. And it is right around there. Let's see, so far, the low of the day was $1.70.4. And this fib level is at $1.70.33. I think that's going to be the bottom. I think it will be retracing to that. But it is quite possible that it could be retracing to the 786, and that is at a price of $1.65.97 or $1.66. And so I could see a pullback to either of those levels, but I do think the 618 will be respected before we continue the up moves. And so with that being said, since I don't have access to buy natural gas like this, I have to buy it through United States Natural Gas, ticker symbol UNG, or 2X Leverage Natural Gas, which is ticker symbol BOIL. So I'm just going to look at both of those over here to see what's going on with the Fibonacci retracement, kind of, on the same level that I was just looking at there, and see where price might be returning to. And so this is the low of 1456. I've got to add levels to this. So I will do that. Let's see what was actually before I do this. There we go. Now I can add those levels and adjust the top and bottom. This is 1456 and the top is 1669. And add the proportions in there so I can see where price might be going to. And I can also do an extension if it's to go down more. And so this is right around the 618. just like what we're seeing with natural gas over here, right around the 618. Almost tested it, but did seem to bounce. And so I do think that support with UNG could be found at the 618 here at a price of $15.37. We did get a wick below that. I think that was a dip buying opportunity, and that it will settle here. As you can see, there is this little bit of a volume shelf, which is really not too much going on, but we do see that here. We do have consolidation below there, right below this level. All of these candles there, wicks up, that's going to act as support. I do think that it could quite possibly come down to the 786, so good to prepare for that. That is right around a price of $15 here at $15.02. Also, just being kind of a psychological level, $5 bills, 3 of them. So I do think this could go lower, but I do think that following this big move up, let's see, that was a over 10% move, 14% move. It's going to cool off a little bit before continuing higher. So I think that, where we see this settle out, which is probably around current price, it will continue higher. That's what I'm expecting, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong with this before, but I did point out a bunch of bottoming signals with natural gas on Sunday, and they came like so. I pointed out bottoming signals following this trading day, following February 16th. I believe I put the video out on Sunday, which would have been the 18th. And we did see a little bit lower the following day, but not much lower than this previous low. And so this previous low was 14.63, so less than 10 cents lower. And then we got this nice bounce. So I think it's pretty, it's good to be paying attention to these signals and paying attention to a lot of things that, kind of make sense. Like I was just going over, that we start to see consolidation really below this fib level. So I do think that could be acting as support because we do have these candles and wicks below there. I do think that 15 is probably like the lowest it's going to go before continuation up. But yeah, then just looking at BOIL, going to do the same thing here, nothing too exciting. Just another fib retracement from 1345. Got that lined up just perfect. And then the high here, 1724. And so from that, this has not yet returned to the 618. This does look like it has broken through the 50% retracement at a price of $15.34. As you can see, current price is trading below that. And because of that, I do think that there could be more settling, whether it's just for BOIL or natural gas more broadly. But I do think that the 618 at $14.90 could be a dip buying opportunity for this. And so I do think that could be, a good time to either get average down or establish a position. But I tend to stay away from BOIL. I had established a position right around, I believe, I think around this level, around 20, maybe $22, I don't know, somewhere around here, thinking, it's consolidating, I think it's going to go up. And actually, I don't remember exactly when. I think it was like on a Friday. And I was feeling good about it because it had gone up some. I think it was maybe it was this day or something. And then, I think it was probably around here. And then I just got one share and I was just holding the bag for a while. And then it's like, I'm seeing these bottoming signals. I'm going to buy a couple more shares just to get my average down. Got my average down to right around the high here, a little bit lower. And was thinking about selling here, but didn't. And then was like, nah, I'm going to sell here because I don't want to. Or actually, no, I think I maybe trimmed the 2 of the shares at a small profit, and then the next day it's like, I'm just gonna close out the rest of it. And I did, and I'm happy about that because it did seem like it was putting in topping signal. And yes, I'll just revisit this on Sunday after today closes, after we've got a little bit more data. But I'm thinking that price will be settling right around $14 a share for BOIL, as well as with UNG, which was hit today with, the low of $15.29. So this could be coming down to $15 here, 786. And with that being said, I would think this could also be coming down to the 786, which is at a price of $1.66. So something to keep in mind. This stuff's really risky. It's called the Widowmaker for a reason. And to me, it's fun because it's like you've got to, you can't be holding it long term because it just bleeds. And so it's like a good exercise in swing trading, not long-term holding. And also, I don't know, I like being punished, I guess. But yeah, and also, yeah, I mean, and this too, I mean, this is one of the signals that just stood out to me. This lower lows in the price, higher lows in the RSI, that's bullish divergence. Then we see a pop after it. So just like, it's really, I don't know, I really enjoy this, even though it's painful. But yeah, coming back to Nvidia, still putting in a topping signal. Yeah, I'm very proud of myself for saying that this would go to 2 trillion, and it did. But yeah, I can go over other requests. I see that there are a couple people still here, so let me know if you want me to go over anything. I've been doing this for about an hour, about 55 minutes. So I will stream for at most an hour more, but I'll probably tune out here soon. I see somebody else has joined, so if you got a request, let me know. I've just kind of been going over, I started it really looking at the S&P 500 and Nvidia, just being surprised and very happy with myself in seeing that price did go up to $8.10 at least, because I thought that it would hit a market cap of 2 trillion. That did happen. As you can see, price is a little bit lower than 810, and that's because the shares outstanding is now 2.5 billion, whereas before it was 2.47, and that would put price at $810 to have a market cap of 2 trillion. But with the shares outstanding being a little bit higher, this price has lowered a little bit. But yeah, let's see what this is. Wall Street opens higher after scorching AI-led rally. Yeah, and then this is just crazy. This is just crazy. This article here. Nvidia, a must-buy after AI-fueled blowout earnings. No, this is a must-sell the top. This is a Wall Street wants to offload, and they want you to pick up their shares. So Nvidia ignited a record-setting rally in the stock market on February 22nd, yesterday, after the chipmaker posted blockbuster fiscal fourth quarter earnings on the strength of spending hysteria on artificial intelligence. Nvidia's bumper profits and revenues helped the chipmaker register a record one-day gain in market capitalization for any company in the United States. Nvidia added $277 billion in market capitalization in the last trading session, and it's never going to stop. That's basically what this title is suggesting. The California-based company's one-day gain in stock market value easily surpassed the one-day gain of $204.5 billion by Meta Platforms on February 2nd after the social media giant reported robust quarterly results and declared its first dividend. In reality, Nvidia's one-day gain eclipsed the entire value of the Coca-Cola company at $263.7 billion. So that's just pretty insane. Nvidia has now regained its position as the third most valuable company in the U.S. stock market, lagging only behind Microsoft and Apple. Nvidia's shares have now soared 59.5% so far this year, way more than the broader S&P 500's rise of 4.3%. And that is exactly why I'm shorting semiconductors with leverage, because if there is a correction in the stock market and the S&P 500, technology is overweighted in that and will be pulling back more. So not only shorting semiconductors, but shorting them with leverage will bring better gains. So that's why I'm interested in ticker symbol SOXS. But yeah, anyways, Nvidia registered the best one-day percentage gain of 16.4% yesterday, since it rallied 24.4% on May 23rd, 2023. Nvidia's stock has now touched an all-time high of $785.38, but that has been eclipsed today by hitting a $2 trillion market cap. An upsurge in demand for Nvidia's chips, primarily from companies looking to upgrade their AI offerings, helped the firm post revenues of $22.1 billion in fiscal fourth quarter, up to a whopping of 265% from a year ago. Similarly, Nvidia's earnings per share came in at $4.93 in the quarter ending on January 28th, 2024, up a mind-boggling 765% from a year ago. So pretty crazy. I'm not going to keep reading this because I think that it might bore people unless you want me to keep reading it. But yeah, I think that what's going on with Nvidia, what's going on with the S&P 500, I think that, yeah, I mean, what's it look like on the daily time frame? This could be a topping signal. In the end, the day is not over yet. But hitting a high of 511.11, you know, like Bilbo Baggins' birthday, 11, or age, I guess I should say, $5,011.06 is the top, and that may be the top for a very long time. If we do look back in time, we can see that this top was hit on January, the week closing January 7th, and that was at $4,818.62, and it took about 2 years to get back to that level. We're now above that, and yeah, I guess we're putting in a bullish engulfing candle in the week. Let's see, whereas this was, you know, a bearish engulfing candle for the week. So, you know, I do think that this could go higher, but I think it's getting close to a top. If we look at the daily time frame, let's see. I think I haven't drawn this trend line. I know Gareth Soloway goes over it, but let's see where maybe I could draw it from. I'm going to try to do this and see if it makes sense. Nope, not there. Nope, not there. That's too high. But that is compelling. I think that's kind of interesting because it did serve as support here, broke below it, kind of as resistance up to here. Yeah, where will that bring price to? Not 6,100, which is where it could go, based on, I don't know if I still have it pulled up, but yeah, based on this, could go to 6,100. So this isn't aggressive enough. But yeah, I can move this here to over here, and I think this might be probably similar to, I don't think exactly, yeah, maybe we've broken out what Gareth has gone over, but I should probably include these as exact points. So I'm just going to add this exact point just because I like to be precise. And so this is 08.86. And then the other pivot point that I've got here is right over here, I guess. So I want that to be based on the high here, which is right there. Now that I've zoomed in, 41.25. Now we'll lock that into place, take a step back. And then we can see, yeah. Yeah, so I mean, maybe that's something that I don't think that's what Gareth had, because I think that his was testing the top a little closer. So, you know what I want to do? Yes, probably. What's the low here? I'd probably do it from this low, whatever that is. So this low is 42.1955. 42.1955. And then where might this be? Not there. Over here. And so what's the high of this day? That is 476869. 4768. 476869. And now let's look at this. I guess I'll do this auto. And that's actually kind of like a parallel channel. Almost. That's kind of crazy. It's not really tightening. So maybe this would go over here. No. I don't know. Maybe just to... Yeah, that could be it. That could be it. So just put that on the high here. If you got any comments, you know, let me know, any requests. I'll probably close this down here in a minute, but hopefully this is interesting, seeing what I'm thinking about with this stuff. And this is at 438546. So 438536. Lock that into place. And we can see that price is, you know, getting rejected from there. We did get a fake out here. Yeah, so I don't know. I think that we're going to be topping soon. And that's why, yeah, SOXS. I think this is really cool. I think my average is around 430. I don't know, around here in this gap. So with that being said, I do think that this could be gapping up. And yeah, so I think that there's money to be made with this. But also, who knows how long it's going to take for the markets to top. Who knows how long it's going to take for Nvidia to top. But it might have done that today. As we can see, this is now looking like an inverted hammer candle after a big move up. And that could suggest a reversal after this, you know, over 20% move, now pulling back. So, yeah, good to be cautious. Good to be cautious. And yeah, I've been doing this for about an hour and 6 minutes. I was going to do a video on Plug Power today because they have earnings next Friday during pre-market. And I was thinking about covering earnings because earnings seems like a nice way to bring people into the channel, also learn a little bit about earnings companies. And yeah, so I'll probably do that. And so if you guys are new to the channel, I imagine you're not, make sure you like the videos, also, you know, the live streams, and always share your thoughts, whether that's in the comments or in the live chats. And make sure you subscribe to the channel to support the channel. It has been growing, really excited. The channel will be monetized in March, I imagine, likely not February. But yeah, with that, I'm just trying to crank out as much material as I can. Really excited about this. Is like the most fun stuff to do, just chatting about stocks, sharing ideas, ideally making money, or at least avoiding losing money. And yeah, so really fun to do this. I appreciate all of you for joining. And if there aren't any last minute requests, I'm going to sign off to work on that plug video and then enjoy a little bit of the not so cold weather before I have to go to work in about 4.5 hours, which sucks, but it is what it is. But yeah, thanks again for joining, and I will see you guys Sunday evening, doing a live stream then, 9 p.m. Eastern as usual. And then I can go over the schedule before signing off if you guys are curious. Let's see if I can scroll up here. So today, you know, I got Run and Lucid done during the pre-market. I was not planning on doing that. I was planning on sleeping in, but I really don't like my job. And that's been motivating me to make more material for the channel, so it's a good thing. And then I plan on doing Plug Power here soon. And then to start my weekend analysis, I like to begin that with AMC. Unfortunately, I get off work kind of late, so this video might actually be coming out on Saturday. But I plan on doing AMC video once I get off of work. And then over the course of the weekend, I will be doing a video on Palantir. That's always a popular one. Fisker, also always a popular one. Shorting the market, gotta do that with Nvidia hitting an all-time high, talking about the S&P 500 and you know, SOXS. I think that's the best way to short the market. So I'm excited about that. And then also Polestar. That was not the most popular videos last Saturday. But, you know, I do want to do an update on that. Did get 100 views. And they do have earnings on Thursday next week. And so I will be doing that. I was hoping to do AMC's earnings call. I did request vacation at work, but apparently I did not get that. So I won't be able to do that earnings call, but I will do the Polestar earnings call on Thursday morning, as well as the Plug Power earnings call on Friday. Let's see, I'm just going to make this. I like to make the, did I? Oh, I can't change the color of it because it's the next month. But then, maybe I'll also do a morning stream on Tuesday. And yeah, just trying to get out, maybe I'll do another morning stream on the 28th, just trying to do as many as possible. Yeah, to make this content more accessible, more available, learning as I go. Hopefully you guys are learning as well. And yeah, and so, yeah, I guess I should continue with this. Sunday, I will be doing natural gas and canoe. Some of these did shift over to Monday because of the holiday that we had, President's Day last week, but I'll probably move some of them back to Sunday. Trying to get out, as I said, as much content as possible. Really fun going over these tickers, and I appreciate you guys joining. And, on that note, I will leave this on Nvidia on the minute time scale, as it does look like we are pulling back following the new all-time high of $823.94, hitting a market cap of $2 trillion, but now being below that. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that has marked the top of the market. I might be wrong. This could continue rallying, but I think it's a good time to short semiconductors, so that's what I'm doing. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Thank you so much. I will stop with the ongoing goodbyes, and I will sign off now. I'll see you guys Sunday evening, and I'll put out some more videos between now and then. Hope you have a wonderful Friday evening, a wonderful start to the weekend. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you Sunday evening. Take care and happy trading on this wonderful Friday before the weekend.